Ferris Media and Marketing, owned by entrepreneurs D. Ferris, brings to you the finest in final tribute and obituary programs. Dee is known as the obituary queen, and she brings to you the finest in colored printed celebration of life programs with pictures of your loved one and you in whatever design that you can imagine that you will cherish forever. Dee also owns Alpha Omega Monuments and can provide for your family all types of headstones, flat, stand-up, double headstones, even headstones with your loved one's picture. Whatever your printing need, Ferris Media and Marketing can provide it for you. Give her a call at 901-921-0110. Even if you need business cards, logos, or contracts, 901-921-0110. Have you been complaining about not having enough money to pay your bills? Well, get up off of your assets and get some assets and go to work immediately if you really want a job. 3 Chicks with a Side Hustle is ready to put you to work immediately. Get a full-time salary from home. All you need is a laptop or a computer. Pick up your pencil and write this number down: 901-401-3862, 901-401-3862, or go to their webpage, www.2chickswithaside-hustle. They also give away laptops and computer stands for those who really need and really go to work. This is a worldwide service. No matter where you are, you can go to work today.
VIP tickets available too. Get your tickets now online at Ticketmaster.com and all the usual ticket outlets. Saturday, June 11th, Greenwood, Mississippi. Brought to you in conjunction with Kirk Automotive. You can be that special queen or king and get on board the Cussing Pastor Blues Cruise. November 10th through November 14th. The cruise will leave sunny Miami and head straight to the Bahamas, stopping first at the beautiful private island of Half Moon Key, where you'll spend a day there on soft white sand beaches while enjoying water sports, boat trips, swimming, a straw market, horseback riding on the beach, a salon, delicious food and drinks, and more. Then it's off to funky Nassau. All you need to take the cruise is a birth certificate, driver's license, or a state ID. A passport is not necessary, but you must be vaccinated. You can enjoy the cruise with a balcony for $982. That's for 2 persons in a room. If you want an ocean view room, it's $732. Or a room with no view is $661. Hurry and book your cruise today. Here's the booking code: X61MT1. That's X as in X-ray. The number 61MT1. Pick up your phone now and make a $100 deposit. Call 800-819-3902. That's 800-819-3902. Extension 85462. And speak to Natasha Links. Deadline to pay your trip in full is August 27th. Come on and cruise with the Cussing Pastor on Thaddeus Matthews' Cussing Pastor Blues Cruise. November 10th through November 14th.
Attorney Carlos Bibbs has practiced law for 24 years, and now he wants you to elect him judge of Circuit Court Division 2. As judge, he will represent the diversity our community needs. He's a firm believer in equity and equality under the law. Carlos Bibbs has the demeanor and the temperament suited for the position of judge. Carlos Bibbs is a family man and a strong believer in applying the law fairly to every citizen, no matter what the economic or the culture of that citizen may be. Vote Carlos Bibbs, Judge of Circuit Court Division 2. Paid for by the committee to elect Carlos Bibbs Judge. Ed Payton is the treasurer.
and I care about the people. Yes, we have our challenges within our city and our state. That's why I'm asking for your support to continue the legacy and the hard work of our district. I want to be your voice in Nashville to assist in lowering crime, bringing better education for our children, bringing quality and affordable health care and jobs back to our city. Remember on August 4th to consider me, Will Richardson, as your next state representative for District 86. Remember, where there's a will, there's a way.
Dream Alive 2022, Sunday, May 22nd, 5 p.m. at New Direction Christian Church, 6120 Winchester Road, Memphis. Starring Harvey Watkins Jr. and the Canton Spirituals. Pastor Ronnie Strong and the Sensational Strong Family. That name of Jesus. Doc McKenzie and the Highlights.
I'll be alright.
George Dean and the Gospel 4.
I've got a new way.
Annie and the Caldwell Singers, the Echoirs, Minister Cedric King and Restoration, Soul Sisters, plus God's Children, Mountain Man, and Melodic Truth. Keep the Dream Alive 2022, the baddest gospel quartet concert of 2022. Sunday, May 22nd, 5 p.m. at New Direction Christian Church. Advanced admission $35, $45 at the door. For tickets and information, call Gary Moore at 901-691-1867. That's 901-691-1867. See you there! Here's your invitation to Melanie, Mrs. Cussing Pastor, 47th birthday party and blues show. It's Friday, September 9th, 7 p.m. at the LaPlace Ballroom and Event Center, 5841 Sycamore View in Summer, right behind Church's Chicken. Featuring in concert, L.J. Eccles.
Do you want me to get it from the back?
O.B. Buchanan. Summer Wolf.
If you want me,
Summer Wolf.
leave me.
Questlove.
Love the way you put it on me.
Mr. Sam.
She said jump up, roll it, roll it.
Red Velvet.
I wanna love somebody.
And introducing new Southern Soul sensation, West Dawn.
If you don't wanna treat me right, somebody else will.
It's Melanie, Mrs. Cussing Pastor's 47th birthday party and blues show. Friday, September 9th at the LaPlace Ballroom and Event Center. Tickets are $40 in advance, $50 at the door. VIP, $65 per seat at a table of 9 or a whole table for $500. Tickets available only at cussingpastor.com. The MC for the evening, none other than the Cussing Pastor, Thaddeus Matthews. Get your tickets now!
Tell the truth. He is the one that will inform you about all those jokers that are doing wrong. You cross the line and then it's on. Sometimes the other news don't get it right. They don't get it right. Daddy does his homework every night. What's local news, world news, national news? He's gonna keep it tight. For the people he will fight.
And just when you thought it was safe, it is absolutely not. Not on this Thursday evening. Good evening to each and to every one of you. Hoping that your day on this rainy day here in Memphis has gone extremely well. Hoping that it has. I hope that it's gone extremely well. Now, this evening's show is going to piss some folk off. First of all, I don't give a shit. Okay? I'm going to say some things this evening that need to be said. The subject of this evening's show is black political corruption in Memphis. Black political corruption here in the city of Memphis. And I'm going to be joined by phone shortly by a guy that I've known probably 20 years. We've done radio together back in the day. His wife ran for the District Attorney General's office, and I'm talking about none other than Jennings Bernard. Okay? That's who I'm talking about. I'm talking about none other than Jennings Bernard. I'm going to be calling him momentarily. I look at the Democratic primary that we had here in Memphis, and I notice how dumb, how stupid, how ignorant many black voters happen to be. It's a shame that we as blacks vote basically on tradition. We vote on name recognition. We vote on whose family you're part of. We vote because they're black. We vote because of the preacher, what the preacher said to do. We're going to talk about several of the areas tonight that black folk are just foolish. It almost makes you wonder, why do we as black people even go to the polls? I hear this statement all the time. Well, Martin Luther King died, and all these folk that's supposed to have died for your right to vote. You talk about black suppression of the vote. When we as blacks suppress the vote within our community, nothing that we have going on as far as the political corruption can we solely blame on white folk. I'm also going to say something tonight that going to bother the political echelon. It's time for us as a people to stop voting Democrat. Ooh. Now let me tell you something, and then I'm gonna call Jennings in a minute. Why don't the whites or the Republicans have a Republican primary? Let me give it to you real simple. Whites, the Republican Party, they don't run against each other. Did you hear what I just said? Whites don't run against each other. They pick a candidate and let that candidate run in August. Now, many of these persons that won will have to run again in August, and I'm going to be trying to collect their montees. And that's what these elections have come down to meaning to me. Nothing but money. That's all it means to me now. Nothing but money. I used to give a damn about who we're going to put in office and are we putting the best person in office. But them days gone. We don't do that no more. We don't even attempt to put the best person in office. We have folks that run that know they can't win. We have people that run for office with absolutely no idea of where some money gonna come from. They just go get their little application, file, pay their $100, and don't know where the money to run a campaign is going to go. But we practice splitting the vote. And then we also practice, some of these politicians, putting people in races to save their position. Somebody else says, I want to run for this office. Well, what I want to do is tell you I can beat anybody in that seat. So let me put you in this race over here against this black person. That way I'm safe. That happens. Every candidate, black candidate that you see running, is not running to win. They're running many times because they have been placed in the race. And this green split on this screen is bothering me. See if I can. Well, I didn't make it no better then, did I? Okay. Just leave it alone for the time being. Hell, I made it worse. Shit. I'll fix it on the commercial break. That's what's happening. There was no way that Janine Gordon was supposed to get 22,000 votes. It shows that the people that voted for her were ignorant as hell. You're dumb, you're foolish, you did no research. None. It didn't matter to you whether you put a liar in office. It does not matter to black folk. She had to add her mother's name because her mother's name was the name that black folk were ignorant enough to put in office the first time. You were ignorant enough to do that. They knew that you didn't know who Janine Gordon was, but the name Fully Love meant something to you. I don't know why. And the sad thing to say, unless whites decide that they really want to beat her and they deal with the facts and the truth, she'll be elected in August. Has no idea, she's a weather girl. She has no idea of what the office entails. Willie Brooks, weak little lamb. Won over Shalandra Ford, who has went in, modernized the office, revised the office. Willie Brooks has never been in the office. Okay? Never been in the office, but you elect this little, be nice, that is. This real little soft fella that wants to be there. That many of you listen to your knucklehead ass pastor with that spiritual bullshit that he gave you. You want to believe that your pastor is so anointed. No, the motherfucker is paid. You do know these black preachers are getting paid, don't you? When Jim Strickland became mayor again over a black man who had been there for 20-some years, you do know they got paid. They got paid off in positions, grant programs. And you motherfuckers sitting around talking about what the Lord led your pastor to tell you. Your pastor got paid. Many of you have to have a ballot at the polls. The ballot is the oldest game in political corruption. The people that make the ballots, that print the ballots, don't give a damn who you vote for, neither do they give a damn who wins. Everybody that you see on a ballot pays to be on a ballot. They pay to be on a ballot. You pay different prices. Sometimes I just need your face because you got a name. I need your face on the ballot. So I give it to you dirt cheap, but I'm gonna charge everybody else from $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 to be on a ballot. And then sometimes the ballot makers have more than one ballot. I need your face on this ballot, but the other candidate got the $5,000 or $6,000 and wants to be on a ballot. I ain't gonna turn down his $5,000 or $6,000. I'm gonna make a second ballot. I may even create another name for the organization. So that I can get his $5,000 or more to be on a piece of paper. No research is done, and many of the candidates don't want you to research them. They don't want, and they don't want to be interviewed by me, because I'm going to ask some questions concerning the office. What do you know? I'm going to show your dumb ass up. In the black community, qualifications mean nothing to black folk. Nothing. It means nothing. So I ain't got no lie to tell. I don't care whether you feel bad when I say politics to me is all about the money. All about the money. I've got a platform. I can expose them to thousands of people over the next few months. All I want to do is get paid. I got about 3-4 individuals that are running for judgeships that I will support strongly and endorse strongly, because I happen to know them and I happen to know what they will do and what they won't do. I know whether they're honest men or not. I will strongly be supporting Judge Lonnie Thompson for re-election. I've known Lonnie Thompson, hell, basically all his life. We grew up next door to each other. And I know he ain't partial because I've been in this, stated to be in this court. I come in there and he tell the folk, I know Mr. Matthews. I said, well, goddamn, not his shit. You ain't got to tell everybody that you know me. But he's running in a race. And I'll strongly be going against one of the persons that's running against him because, and that's Kim Gilmore. I think it's Kim Sims Gilmore. I think that's what it is now. And I know the reason that she's running because Lonnie or Judge Thompson put K. Michelle out of her mansion. K. Michelle, daughter-in-law of the judge. So I know why she's running. I would strongly be supporting a man that I've known over 20 years, who has served as my attorney on more times than one. That's attorney Joseph Osment. Okay. Joe has been my attorney. Charged me very little if I paid him anything. He's been my attorney over the years. I will be supporting him. Judge Betty Thomas. In fact, when she was first elected the first time, she had me to come and pray over her courtroom. I'll be supporting Lois Ryan. I'll be supporting her. And let me say this, and because you see a person advertising on my show does not mean that I endorse them. I provided them a platform to be able to expose themselves to the community. Because many people run for office and you don't even know who they are. You look on the ballot, who the fuck is this? So that's what I do. I have an advertising agency. This is my agency. I have a platform. Cinnamon Sunshine, if you don't get off my motherfucking page talking about your goddamn story, I'm gonna block your motherfucking ass. I don't give a fuck about your story on my page. Damn, use it on your page. You and Darius will be gone. When I'm on there, ain't nothing, on my pages ain't nothing important but what I'm talking about. If y'all want to have some private conversations, get off the page and go and meet each other on each other pages. hold your private conversations down. If y'all want to be friends, y'all coding, you know, you want to give us some pussy cinema, then go on y'all pages and do it. Not on mine. Nah, shit. I look at the DA's race. I hear black folk talk about we need a new DA. Amy Wyrick is this. Amy Wyrick is that. So why didn't you get one candidate in the Democratic primary? Linda Harris ran. Janika White ran. Steve Mulroy ran. I don't support Steve Mulroy. I don't support him. He ain't gonna support me. But I look at the numbers. Linda Harris only did 10,055 votes. Janika did much better than I would have imagined that she was going to do. Janika did 15,876. Steve Mulroy did 22,123. What if Janika and Linda Harris had worked together? What if only one of them would have ran and said, look, if I win, I'll bring you in as my assistant in the DA's office and we can make a change. That would have been almost 26,000 votes. The white people that voted for Amy, and some blacks, I ain't gonna say all white folk, Amy only did 14,526. She did less than Janika did. Now, many whites, and I'll grant this, many whites stayed at home because they knew that Amy had to run in the general election. She only got 14,526. Now, what has happened in the past in Memphis politics? See, you don't have to declare
Power on.
in the general election
Connection successful.
whether you are Democrat or Republican. You just vote. Okay? That's all you do. You just vote. Yes, the turnout was low. There was no excitement in going to the polls. There was no excitement in going to vote. None. But see, what has happened in Memphis in some past elections is that on election day, in the general election, they vote Democratic in the primary. Then, when the general election comes forth, they vote Republican, or they vote for the Republican candidate. Let me say this as I prepare to call Jennings. Judgeships are non-partisan. Judges cannot run as a Democrat or a Republican. They just run. So, and I think the law has come out, they cannot be on a ballot with a group of other candidates, which is going to make my business much better. Okay? They can't run on the Democratic ballot. Anything that's got a name of an organization that's politicized, judges cannot put their name on those ballots. Let me see if I can reach Jennings.
Hey.
What's going on? What's going on, Jennings? Can you hear me, Jennings?
Yeah, I can hear you. I hear you.
Okay.
What's going on? Everything, not much. Everything going good. May I take this opportunity, Thaddeus, and
Did you hear me, Jennings?
yeah, I hear you. Wait a minute.
Cut that thing, Jennings. Now you know better.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. No, I just wanted to take the opportunity, man, personally, thank you for what you did with my wife, how you endorsed her, and how you stepped in there and told the people about the 36 years experience, and how night after night you stressed the fact that what you want is a qualified individual in the criminal court office running, that know that office so well that she could run it in her sleep. Mm-hmm. She know it so well that she could have gotten in the first day, and if anything was left there for her to do, that the other clerk left, she could direct them like a traffic stop, telling them which way to go and what to do. Again, I just wanted to personally thank you for what you did, and we know that advertising with you and doing what you did helped her a lot.
Okay, well, thank you all for giving me your business. But when you look at that race, Jennings, and you look at races in Memphis in general, what do you think is the reason that black folk decided we don't want somebody with experience? We'll just take somebody with non-experience because they got the right name or they got the right folk behind them.
Well, you know, when I look at that, and I pondered over that over the years, you know, I've been in politics, I ran several times. I've had individuals tell me, you too strong to be on the council, you too strong to be a county commissioner, because we would have to change how we do business. So these are the type of people that we are dealing with that are running. I often say that we are really dealing with political pimps. And what we have is political pimps. When you get individuals that don't want to go and study. As a matter of fact, I went to Joe Brown, Judge Joe Brown, a little get together he had the panel of all the people that was going to run for judge the people would have had an opportunity to ask those people that's running for judge on that town over at Ben Hook Library. We went there, my wife and I, and sit there. It was less than 30 people there in that whole room over there at the library. Why was it less than 30 people? Because we have become crippled when it comes to politics. We go what we think the easy way out, and we look at these ballots and other things and say, hey, this is the simple way. I ain't got to think. I don't have to ask people question. If they own this piece of paper, then I'm just going to go with the paper. And you said it earlier. That's voter suppression, you know. But we accept that as it relates to business as usual. And the reason I think we do that is because we as black people and as voters, we're lazy.
Okay. We don't want to research.
No.
We're satisfied with things the way they are unless it is affecting us personally.
Exactly.
And we don't think that clerks and their job are important enough jobs for us to research. Well, they ain't gonna do nothing but be in the office, sitting behind a desk. So whoever they put behind the desk is all right.
No, and that's definitely 100% wrong. I've been married to this lady for 31 years that have sit into that office day after day and helped thousands of people over her career. People that couldn't get their son out because somebody had did the wrong paperwork and the son been in jail for a year and nobody knew it because the paperwork was not done. And that was I've seen her go and tell the mother and the father what to do by way of their son to get him out on the bond once the bonding company come to her. And here's the experience that you know. Their job is just as important as any other job. We can sit here and talk about that because if the paperwork is messed up, and that's what they have right now with Heidi Kuhn. Paperwork is messed up. You know the history on her. And that's the reason why, in my opinion, that is just as important as individuals running for judges, individuals running for any other position. That clerk position can make you or break you with paperwork.
Okay. Who, you and I were talking about preachers. And preachers, and I think we were talking about, what's that Spencer boy's name? Stacy Spencer.
Yeah.
And what was the incident that happened with Stacy?
Well, there's several things that happened with Stacy Spencer. And remember when we was on the radio back in the day, Stacy Spencer made a statement to the commercial appeal of the white newspaper that the rap group 3-6 Mafia was not role model. Well, it was all on the newspaper, and as I was thinking about that, I said, let me call him. So I called him to his administrative assistant, told me, he said, Reverend, I done gave him your message. He know that you're trying to reach him. Well, you know me, when you don't call me back, I go knock on your door, and that's what I did. I went to the church, went in the church, met with the administrative assistant. He came out and said, well, pastor just don't want to talk to you. He don't want to do the interview. I said, okay, no problem. That's his choice to do that. But I want him to know that if you can tell the white commercial appeal about African-American men who have risen to the top of their game, or whether you like Denzel Washington for playing a drug dealer, he was well enough and a good enough actor that he received an Academy Award. If you want to get mad at Halle Berry, that she rolled around in the floor like you know what with this guy, but she ended up in Monster Ball getting the Academy Award. Now, what's so different from you as a preacher teaching that's saying about the 3-6 Mafia that they was not role models? These individuals have rose to the top of the game with the song that got them Academy Award. Well, he didn't come on. Well, I was just so happened at my favorite spot when I eat my catfish over here, him and Patrice Robinson, city council person over here, that was having lunch. And I said to him, and I talked to him and said, son, listen, let me tell you something. When you're pastoring and someone calls you, it would be common courtesy for you to call them back. Well, he understood that. But lo and behold, he turned right around and he called me and said, hey, Bernard, do you know Stacy Spencer just endorsed Heidi Kuhn? And he's a Kappa. I said, well, I didn't know he was a Kappa, but he endorsed Heidi Kuhn. Did he actually ask anybody else? Was anybody in that race? There was 2 black women in that race. But you know, him and Heidi Kuhn was in leadership Memphis together. And I think they had a partnership, and she convinced him to do an endorsement. Now, you're a black leader. You're a black preacher. And let's believe this, I've been one for 32 years. And I'm getting to the point that these preachers now, I'm losing confidence in them based on how they want to get over. Well, he was meeting with Patrice Robinson. He wasn't anything in city government. But when I looked around again, they had placed him on the matter board of director, the bus company.
Okay.
Now, she was running for office, and she needed his support. He got the membership and the people that knew people from his church to vote for her, and she ended up getting elected. And next thing you know, he's on the board of the bus company. Now, I don't know that for exactly, but most board members get paid, don't they?
Yeah.
So if he's getting paid from that, and he's convinced his members to go this way and vote this way, is that not, in my opinion, in your opinion, is that not a kickback?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So he went another step further, and he was a Kappa. And they wasn't supposed to endorse anyone because they have 501c3. But privately, I'm understanding from guys that I know that are Kappa, and they're saying that it was told indirectly to the membership that they're going to support Heidi Kuhn. Now, the Kappas and Stacey Spencer is one. They probably got the message not to go with anyone but Heidi Kuhn. But this is a black organization supposed to be looking out for the black people in the community that they supposed to be upstanding. Now, you done crossed not one but 2 black women for this white woman. Okay, Stacey Spencer, if you was going to do right, you would have asked, are there any African Americans in this race? But you didn't do this. So therefore you end up playing the political game on the backs of black folks that pay money, tithes, and offerings to the church, and finding out you ain't worth 2 cents.
Okay. Okay. Now,
Yeah, go ahead.
see, and Stacey Spencer is not the only black preacher in Memphis that belongs to this group of preachers that always seem to be in the company of white pastors,
Right.
who are getting benefits from white pastors, who are in white pastors' churches. And many black folk don't know that the church that they belong to white folk in this city. And that, especially when you look at the churches that Bellevue Baptist Church has, and they are allowing black preachers to be in their building. So if these white pastors have their own political agenda and they let black preachers in there that's just glad to have a building, don't you know that those black preachers got to do what those white preachers say do? When you look at Strickland, see, one of the most active black pastors back in the day was Bill Atkins. Bill Atkins was one of the persons that influenced Willie Harrington to run for mayor the first time. But now when Willie decides to run the last time he ran, no, him, Ed Stevens, my good friend, Pastor Floyd, all of those guys, all them bishops, all of those guys were over there with Strickland. Atkins' son got a job after the election with the police academy with no police experience. So we can't complain that white folk use us. We allow white folk to use us. And some of these Negroes are just sad. Just sad.
They are. They are so sad to the point that it's just downright pitiful. And I fault the black people.
Now wait a minute. I got somebody on. I got somebody.
Chief head Negroes that
Yeah.
you use.
Hold on a minute, Janice. I got a person on my page that says Harrington was past his time. What the fuck you mean? But you go and elect a motherfucker like Joe Biden, who's got one foot in the grave and the other one on the banana peel. You get all excited about putting this motherfucker in the White House. Okay?
Well, tell me when you say that Harrison was past his time, what has Jim Strickland did for you as black people? I remember I interviewed him on my Facebook page, and I got that interview and I asked him the question. I said, now, Mayor Strickland, you said that you just started a program where for the Hispanics, and you got a Hispanic to the interpreter that you have hired for the city. And I said, okay. I said, but let me ask you this. You got a certain percentage of black votes, Mayor. What are you going to do for the black community? And I remember it, and if I can pull it up, you can hear it too. He said, I'm not going to let you make this interview about race and political. Now, you're telling me about what you've done for the Hispanic community. When I asked you what you're going to do for the black community, you basically, when you gave me that answer, you said absolutely nothing. And now I ask anybody who loves Jim Strickland and people before, what have any white mayor have done for black folks while they was in office?
Well, but here's also the sad thing, Janice, and I told someone, and please don't ask me about no goddamn Kevin Samuels. I don't know whether he dead or alive, and this ain't the funeral home. Call the funeral home if you want to know if he dead or not. I don't think that we'll have another black mayor, city mayor, no time soon. Because what's going to happen, I'm hearing that Van Turner is going to run for mayor. I'm hearing that Patrice Robinson is going to run for mayor. I'm hearing that Pastor Norman is going to run for mayor. So I'm hearing about 4 or 5 different black names that are going to be running for the city mayor. And you're going to get one white guy that runs, and it's going to be just like how Steve Cohen became the congressman from the 9th Congressional District. You had 10 blacks running for Congress against the one white man.
And you know what that was about? It's just like that situation with my wife, Carter getting in there and splitting up the votes as it relates to black. That's the same thing when you had 10 or 15 black running for the 9th Congressional District. And whenever you bring the 9th Congressional District up, I think about the fact that this was carved out where there could be black representation from the state of Tennessee and Washington, D.C. But we, as ignorant black people, most but not all, decided that we would get in the race and divide the vote, divide and conquer. And that's exactly what happened in the 9th Congressional District.
Well,
and you know the mindset of some black people is that once you get in office, you there until you decide you don't want to. People staying in office 30 and 40 years. Did you ever have a job? You know, you sitting back enjoying the fruits of not your labor, but of the other people who put you in office, their labor. You making them think that you the overseer, you the great white hope. All of this madness, and it's nobody's fault that is, but ours. And when you try to educate us, they want to say you hate. Right now, someone out there probably saying, "Oh, he's just mad because his wife didn't make it." Yeah, I'm mad because 36 years of hard work, dedication to the citizens of the city of Memphis and Shelby County, and she proved herself, and you went and voted for somebody that don't even know what a bathroom is.
Yeah, they're mentioning somebody by the name of Paul Young running for mayor. I ain't never heard of him.
Paul Young.
Yeah, I ain't never heard of him.
I know that they said, what is the lady, commissioner, she stepped down, she didn't run this time. She was a part of the Black movement.
The fat girl.
Who?
You know the fat girl. Tammy Sawyer. Well, she is fat.
I heard her name circulate. Now here we got a black female and all the black males, and like you said, a black individual running. And here we go again. You're gonna get that great, that one white hope that's gonna get there, and he's gonna end up being again. When you look at it.
But I don't blame white. But you know, Janice, I don't blame white folk. Find a fool, bump his head.
Yeah, my grandmother used to say that.
Yeah, so, you know, hell, you got 8 niggas gonna run, 1 white man gonna run. The law of averages says he's going to win.
Every time.
Every time. And this is a 7
of the stupidity of our community and the poor black leaders that only care about themselves. Now, just think about it. And this was rumor. I'm not going to call his name, but they saying he paid a lot of money to get on the ballot, and he lost.
Who?
He lost.
Who?
Said, he had signs everywhere.
Who?
And he paid
Who?
You know, you had heard of your Reginald Milton. They say he paid a lot of money to get on the ballot.
And he paid, and you know what?
And
they paid, and he paid me good money.
He had the endorsement of Harold Ford Sr.
Mm-hmm.
He had all of these endorsements. But guess what? He lost.
Yeah. Yeah. Paid me good money. Good God Almighty.
Oh, man. And I like the fella.
I like it too.
With it. But I'm saying his money wasn't well spent. Because somewhere down the line, somebody took his money and crossed him up.
Well, let's go back to our old friend George Flynn. Multi-millionaire. White folk wouldn't even vote for him. With all of his money and all of his radio stations, he has never been able to win. You remember back in the day when I think me and you both were on Flynn's station at the same time. And I was from 12 to 2. I was from 2 to 2. Right. I was deep into some black politicians' ass back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Ricky Pete, a whole bunch of guys. They got together with Flynn and told Flynn, if you get him off the air,
right,
we will support you and endorse you. He got me off there. He let the rain came, and he said a tornado blew up the transmitter.
Right.
And took me off the air, and just before election, the tornado built it was like the Wizard of Oz, built the studio all over again. But these black politicians got with him to get me off the air because I was the only somebody on the air that was kicking them black politicians in their ass, and even with them supporting him, giving him a full-page ad in the commercial appeal, he still lost because the white.
Do you remember that radio station, 1210, if I recall, that radio station pretty much became an all-black station.
Yeah.
Because everybody from that morning, from 7 o'clock, all the way into that evening when I went off at 4 o'clock, there was black programming. You had Dr. What was he? He was.
I can't think of his name
Dr.
now.
What?
I can't think of it now. I can see his face.
I do too. And he had a great class for 2 hours. He was teaching the children math and whatever. In the morning, you had Mary Taylor Shelby, and you had others in between that. That station had became a black station. And I remember what you just recalled. The fact that they told him to shut that station down. And when he shut it down, they got him into the county commission, and he's been running ever since and can't win dog catch.
And you know, we don't have a powerful black station. The way Willie Harrison became the first mayor was the strength of Bill Atkins on the radio on WLOK. Now, our Gideon will not touch a black talk show now because he got black dollars from the city. There's no way that a Bill Atkins, Bill's gone. There's no way that an Art Gilliam will put a Thaddeus Matthews or a Bernard Jennings on the radio. That ain't gonna happen because we don't play the games that the white man wants us to play and the niggas who are in their pockets want us to play. Somebody was mentioning to me on my Facebook page today that can't nobody do the fun morning show now that Bobby did but me. I said, well, look, brother, let me tell you something. Them white folk ain't gonna come and get me to do no morning radio on that station. Because I'm not gonna be the good nigga. I'm not gonna be the nigga that they can steer in their direction. Would I do it if they offer me the opportunity under certain conditions? Only under certain conditions. Then I'm free to be me. If I ain't free to be me, I keep on doing what I do. I'm all right. I'm eating halfway well. I can eat a steak or something right now. My wife down there frying some chicken right now. So you know, I am not going to be bought and controlled by the white power structure. And what happens is, and I tell black folk, ain't no niggas in this town got no power. Ain't got no power. You doing exactly what the white agenda says do. The Klan, they took off the hoods, now they sit behind corporate desks and they got little nigglets to do their bidding. Water carrying Negroes that you can buy. You walk by the window, how much is that nigga in the window? 25 cents. I'll give you a nickel for him. Okay, you can have it.
And if you recall, Thaddeus, don't you remember when I was out at the station 1600 and 730? You remember Heidi came on my show and I interviewed her. She was supposed to pay me, and she didn't pay me because she said her husband, Matt Coon, told her she was the Democratic nominee now and she didn't need to pay her bill. I said, okay. And then the station manager, Dave Brown, come to me and say, I don't want you talking about Heidi anymore on my station. I said, well, what do you mean? You know, I'm paying for this time. He said, but it's my station. And if you want to stay on the air, you don't need to talk about it. But at the time, I had people money that they had bought commercial time and all of that. So I had to stay there. I had to bite that bullet. But then I came home and my Facebook page was just as popular as my radio show. And she went back and told him he's still talking about me on Facebook. This white man came to me and told me, you no longer can be on the radio station because I told you not to type about Heidi Klum. I said, wait, hold on a minute. I said, you ain't that damn powerful. And you ain't got me scared of your you know what. I said, you can't tell me, Dave, what I can do on my Facebook page. And I said all that to say the mentality of powers to be white folk won't touch you and me. Not on the main screen, because we would go where most talk show hosts don't want to go.
Right.
We'd applaud it like it is, within reason, and say, listen, this man mean you no good. This individual did this strictly to divide the black vote, and look at it. She walked in. But if you don't mind, I would like to just say this. At this point, and I want y'all to hear me clearly, I have been a Democrat all of my life. My father and mother were Democrats. I have served on the Democratic Board Executive Committee for 2 terms. I have yet to see the Democratic Party have done anything to really affect the black people systematically in this city, as we call ourselves Democrats. So what I'm saying to you, and I say to everybody listening, I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican. I'm not an independent. I'm a black man with strength, knowledge, and know-how to pick and choose from this point on who I want to be. If he's on the Republican side, so be it. If he's on the Democratic side, so be it. If he's an independent or if he's a rooted tooted, if I choose to vote for him, that's what I'm gonna do. So anybody that's listening to us right now, you call me and tell me something or status that something the Democratic Party has done for you since you've been a Democrat, I'll give you $100.
Wait a minute. The niggas gonna say, we got some stimulus. We got the stimulus check. We got the PPP loan. Oh, that's the kind of shit niggas want. Shit. That's what they want.
Remember how those individuals got those stimulus checks? Who started that?
The Democrats.
No. I'm talking about when that first 1,600 came out, or the first 2,000 came out. Donald Trump was in office, wasn't he?
I don't know. I ain't getting none of it. So shit, I don't know, Jennings.
Yeah. Because then Biden came in and finished out the 2,000 that they said they was gonna get. So it just goes to show you where did that money go? And I'm gonna show you how black people do things. I was up at a local car lot, and I was talking to the owner, and he said, "Man, look at him. I just sold another Camaro. I just sold another Challenger, and look what I got. Guess what he had on his desk?
What?
Stimulus checks." So you got that money. Have you ever noticed that all of a sudden a lot of Challengers and Camaros are just on the street now?
Yeah.
You got the money. You know what they used to say? You give us reparation. Cadillac would be the number 1 car dealer.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what to do with any kind of money that anybody give us, because we don't know money management. We just know the spend, and that's why I say we could be a danger to this community, because our dollar don't turn around but one time.
One time. And the black dollar stays in the black community only 6 hours. Only 6 hours. The white man does not have to march with a cross. He don't have to put a mask on. We are doing the job ourselves. We are so divided. We are a totally divided people. And I'll go back to the 9th Congressional District. The 9th Congressional District was designed so that the state of Tennessee would have black representation in Washington, D.C. The 9th Congressional District is the largest black area in the whole entire state of Tennessee. You talk about Harold Ford Sr., he stayed there for what, 20-some years?
Yeah, he was there quite a while.
And then Junior didn't do shit. Junior came in off his daddy's name. Then this white boy, this crippled white boy that don't give a shit about black folk, who is the Cohens. If you check your history, the Cohens were Jewish slave ship runners. They ran trade. They ran slavery hundreds of years ago. You let this white boy come in here and tell you he's a great black hope in an area that should be solely represented by black leadership, that was designed nationally for black leadership, and you won't vote him out because he's a white man. You won't vote him out because he show up at your mama's funeral. He give you go a little speech. The congressman came by my mama's funeral. He don't give a shit about your mama. No. It's election time. You gonna vote for his ass because he came by your mama's funeral. Damn.
And look at that. Look at what did that tell you, Fatty, on the mentality of the way most black people think, if they think in that way. They still want some from the slave master. The master, how can you, 20-some individuals in that race, when you get down to it, and just one sole white man in there, and he comes out on top. That says to me, you can't get these Negroes to sit down at the table and togetherness and come out. We did it one time, and I know how that worked out. Do you remember the People's Convention?
Yeah.
It was tight, it was powerful, but guess what? We never had another one like that, have we?
And these little poo-pot Negroes now want to talk about, they want to have a people's convention next year for the mayor. What's little preacher's name with the dashiki on? Shit, I forget that Negro's name. But that ain't gonna work no more, man. We are a different people now than we were back in the days of Dr. Talib Muhammad and those guys. We ain't that same group. See, it was a group of black men, Talib Muhammad, Randy Wade,
Right.
It was about 7, 8. His brother, Dr. Wade. It was because there was a time that a black man could not win the mayor's race because the mayor's race had a runoff in it. These black men went before the state Supreme Court or whatever court it was and got that invalidated. That's the reason it's the person who gets the most votes in the mayor's race that becomes the mayor of this city.
Right.
So
I remember.
Jennings, we fucked up now.
City council person.
Yeah.
And he lived it. I remember those guys that stepped up to the plate. But see, the leadership came from guys like that. But now you got these young okey-dokes that want to be movie stars in the pulpit. And that's all they care. They want to have not a congregation, but they want to have this fan base, what they call them groupies.
Yeah.
That's all they want. And they don't want to do what the work need to be put in. And I've seen a lot of people, that are young people, that I was out there on the poll, and I said, young man, you vote? He said, no, I ain't voting. I don't believe in that. I said, excuse me? He said, no, it's just wasting my time. No, sir. I said, can I talk to you for a minute and tell you why you ought to vote? I don't want to vote. I'm not voting. And he walked off. But that's his mentality, not just one or two, Daddy. A lot of young people that's coming to the age that they can vote, they haven't been taught by their parents. And the parents are about 5, say maybe 10, 15 years older than they are. And you know you ain't got a parent, if your parents are only 15, 20 years older than you, you ain't going to pay too much attention to them. But they say, I don't vote. I said, do your folks know you don't vote? Yeah, they know I don't vote.
They don't vote
How
either.
do we do that? How do we curtail that mentality when it comes to young people voting?
But Jennings,
we
have
are the last generation.
right? But have we educated them on politics? We get Negroes that want to run for office for 99 years. I want to say that we ain't preparing nobody to run behind us. It's like an old preacher. Remember the day when preachers in church would not retire? The only way they retired, they died.
Right.
You know, so it's that same mentality with black politics. Some politicians, it's time for you to go home.
Yeah, it is. If you ain't got yourself together, and you ain't got your finance together, and you got to stay in office for 30-some years, or you got to be there, there's something wrong with you. That says to me, you ain't the leader that needs to lead the people, because you can't even take care of yourself. How can you take care of the people that you're supposed to represent?
Lord have mercy. You know, I was telling someone, I've always supported Barbara Cooper. Okay?
Oh, man. Oh, Lord, don't even mention it. Go ahead.
I've always supported her. I could always get a call back. But I got to thinking about Miss Barbara. Miss Barbara is 93 years old.
Yeah.
Okay? And I worry about Miss Barbara up and down that highway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And at 93 years old, shit, it's time that some young folk come in and do something. Hell, I don't want to be 93 and I'm still on the radio, TV. Okay?
Yeah.
Hell, let me go out
You
and
mentioned her, and then I got a wild story that I got to mention it because of the fact that you brought her up. And I used to, and I still care for her, but Miss Cooper did something that I really, it didn't sit well with me. And I told people about it on my show. People ask about the golf course now, and I tell the story of what happened. The friends of T.O. Fuller Golf Course, they were finna close it. And they got together, and I went out there to help Miss Cooper to jumpstart that drive to keep T.O. Fuller Golf Course. And you know I love to play golf, and I play it as much as I can. So here's a historical golf course named after a historical golfer, T.O. Fuller. And here is this golf course. People came from other states to play at T.O. Fuller Golf Course. Because the saying was that if you can play a good game of golf at T.O. Fuller Golf Course, you can play any course in the world. Because that was a hard golf course to play. Okay? So she asked me to come, and I motivated, and I talked to the Brock Hill. He was the commissioner of park out of the governor's office. I had his line, I had his personal number, me and him were talking back and forth, because the state at that time wanted to turn it over to people. And they said, Reverend Bernard, if you come up with a budget and show us how you all going to make it. I put down how many rounds of golf we would play a day, how much it would be, and how much we were told us in a week. Well, the man said, it would sound good. We'll go with it. We'll write the contract up as long as you all get the city council or the county commission to just kind of oversee your local and give the state of Tennessee only $10,000 a year, and whatever the city council or the county commission want you all to give him, and the rest you pay the employee, and y'all just keep the park up, and we would give you a contract. Well, I talked to Sidney Chisholm. He was on board to be the manager. To make a long story short, Barbara Cooper heard about it. She was in Nashville. She was 190 years old. She was fairly young then. And the man told him, we met with, talked to Reverend Bernard, the governor is all for turning it over to your organization. And she found out about it. The man called me back and said, Reverend, we got to disregard giving you all that part. I said, well, Brock Hill, why? I said, you know, what's going on? He said, the governor don't want to deal with it because Miss Cooper came over to the office and just went off. Said, who the hell do you think Reverend Jennings Bernard is? I'm the district representative of that district. Now, it wasn't about that. It was about me taking my expertise to help them to keep T.O. Fuller Golf Course open. But Barbara Cooper went over there telling the governor, telling Brock Hill, Commissioner of Park, that she was the representative and you shouldn't have did that with Jennings Bernard. You should have talked to me. Well, the man called me back and said the governor has changed his mind. And he has instructed me when it comes to T.O. Fuller Park, to shut that golf course, to shut it down. And I told Miss Cooper about that. And the man told me, Brock Hill, Commissioner of Park, said, now what I'm telling you, you can tell Miss Cooper. And we can call back and I'll tell her what she did. So I'm talking to Barbara Cooper and I'm kind of lit a little bit. And I'm saying, Representative Cooper, what went on? This man said you came up and said, who the hell you think Reverend Bernard is? He ain't nobody. I'm working with you to keep the golf course open. And you do that? Oh, I didn't do that. You know that white man trying to divide us? I said, I thought you were going to say that, but you know what he told me to do? He told me, Miss Cooper, that if you said something like that, to get him on the three-way. She did and said, I don't want to talk to that white man. That white man just lying. Now, if he's lying, why didn't you want to do a three-way? Mm-hmm. And I told her that, and I said, Miss Cooper, I'm done. I said, I know what you did, and to this time, I think it's been, 10, 20, 15 years ago, since they closed that golf course down. The park is still open, mm-hmm. But the golf course looked like a jungle, and it was one of the prettiest golf courses in the city of Memphis.
Well, you know, these politicians, and Jennings, that's where I make them pay me. Okay? I don't want to hear your sad ass stories. I don't give a fuck. If you ain't got no money, I ain't messing with you. Okay? And if I give a deal, I give a deal to who I want to, and hell, you gotta pay me. And I want all my money. I want all my money up front, cause niggas don't pay you once, and you can't let election day get close and a nigga will owe you now. Shit.
Yeah.
Cause you ain't gonna get your money or the check gonna be bad.
I found out that the hard way, and I understand that. And I respect the fact that you have a platform. I respect the fact that you have listeners and you have followers. That's a business, and people need to look at it as a business. We sit here and we listen to you night after night. For whatever reason you listen to Thaddeus Matthews, you listen to him. And you got to respect the man, whether you agree with him or not. You better respect him as though he's a business owner like DIA or anybody else. He has a platform. And I came to him because I can respect his platform. And Thaddeus would tell you many years ago, we used to disagree with each other. But at some point, we had to realize we're better together than being divided. And see, people need to realize that they got to do better than what they're doing. I'm sorry. If you voted on one of those ballots, you're just point blank, you're ignorant. Because you did not take time to go through there and learn the candidate, and you had somebody had a ring in your nose and had to lead you to the poll to vote on that ballot. And I don't feel sorry for you. I just pity you because you didn't take the time to do what you needed to do as a black person who has the right to vote.
And the white folks sat back and laughed at us, Jennings.
Mm-hmm.
Look at them ignorant ass niggas. Look at them. Yo.
And we ain't got, like you said earlier, we ain't got to do nothing to them no more.
No.
We throw the crumbs from our table, give it to, and the Negro thinks he's popular because the white man done gave him $100,000 job, But you got to think about it. If he give you $100,000 job, he done got 10 times that 100,000.
And
So he ain't
when,
giving you the money that he's making.
and when you get the job, he your boss, and you got to do what he said do.
Right.
Or you gonna lose your $100,000 job. You don't want to lose your $100,000 job, so you will sell your people out for the $100,000. I ain't voting Democratic no goddamn more unless I like you and your policy is the right policy. Damn a Democrat.
Only that, Fanny, I would urge anybody that has been taken advantage by the Democratic Party, you got to make the Democratic Party want your vote, not them saying, I got your vote. Make them work for your vote. You sit up here and give them their vote, and they don't even, when the big politicians come to this town, and they talk about the black community, they only see one or two so-called Negro leaders that's going to convince. Because I remember something, I was out there, and Harold Ford Sr. or either Jr. was holding a rally out at the airport in a hangar. And I remember, you remember Congressman Dinkins?
Yeah,
the one that just died here.
Yeah.
Not long, kind of heavyset guy.
Yeah.
He was with it. He got off the plane, and I was standing there, and he said, whoa, we're in Ford's country. When he looked around and saw all them people out there. And I'm saying, at that point, politically, all you had to do is come see Harold Ford Sr.
Right.
So what did that say?
Right.
That says to me that they took our votes because we was following certain individuals that they don't think that they have to do anything for the black voter. They just do it to these individuals with these ballots.
Well,
and I find that to be just appalling to we as black folks allow folks to do it like that.
Well,
and this talking that we have right now, this conversation we have, they ought to pay attention. But are they afraid, that is, to really stand up and be counted?
Well,
let's go. We've gotten to the point that we're afraid.
Yeah. and look, Harold Ford Sr. was endorsing Reginald Milton.
Right.
Okay. They paid me well to run both of those commercials.
Okay.
Okay. And especially the one with him endorsing it. And to show you the power of Harold Ford has diminished in this black community because Reginald Milton did not win.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
And you know, let me tell you something. Reginald Milton paid me so well,
right,
that I said, now, shit, I don't know where all of his money coming from. Don't give a shit. The checks don't bounce.
Right.
Okay? But I looked at all that I did for him. But the people, you didn't get the people to say, I want you. Okay? I want you. And you go and vote for a lying ass Janine Gordon, who don't even know what her last name is. Her mama halfway dead. The county's still paying her $20,000 a month sick. And they're going to pay her all the way to September. I guess then it's over because Janine 9 times out of 10 will more than likely win unless the Republicans say, look, you know she lied. We need to put our person in the office.
Well, Thaddeus, can I make a prediction? A prediction. I predict every county clerk race, the Republican would take her. just like the Democrats did 4 years ago.
Yes.
See, you got to understand how the Republican Party think, and they're smart in their thinking. They waited 4 years and believed while the Democrats sweep the clerk's office 4 years ago, they were thinking. They've been thinking from day one when every Democrat got into office as a clerk, they was working, they was working, they was working. And now they gonna follow what is it? And I predict that Lee Harris will leave. Because they got that millionaire, that $1 million person that's running against him. The only way that these clerks take back those races is the fact that we get up off of our do nothing and start voting for ourselves and don't take these darn ballots. Get up and go and study and say, we're gonna vote for these clerks. But watch and see. If it doesn't happen, I predict that every office from the juvenile court to the deed on when it comes to those clerks' office, watch and see what happens.
And quit listening to these ignorant ass preachers on Sunday morning. They done got their envelope.
Right.
You know, and I looked at some of these poor white judges. They don't know no better. They being led to the slaughter. You're letting Brent Thompson carry you around the black churches. Motherfucker might not even go to church. You know, his motherfucking ass tried to cross me with a candidate. Don't give my money out. You can pay him by month to month. No, you can't, motherfucker. I gotta get my money just like you gotta get yours.
You said something? He's gonna try to tell people how to pay you.
Yeah, and here's a Negro that's been disbarred as a lawyer, and I see white judges and even some of these black judges going around place to place with him. How are you gonna be a judge and you running with a known felon?
And you know why they do that? It's because he, along with Greg Grant and Lonzo Grant, they done built up a sucker base. And that's all they are. If you're going with them guys, those guys done suckered you. You get nothing, they get your vote, and they get paid. With those ballots.
And why do these judges, these white judges, is this one judge break stone or some kind of stone? He always up under Greg. All you got to do is call the pastor and say, brother pastor, I want to come by your church. And go yourself.
But that makes him look, that makes him look like he's important and they thinking he's important. Understand this. There's certain things that I could tell you about Brett Thompson that I'm not at liberty to tell you. And you know what kind of business I'm in. So I can't tell you, but I'm saying to you, like you said, he's been licensed, has been taken. He's been arrested for posing as a lawyer after his license been taken. So, you know, my thing is, why do we follow somebody? I guess that Charles Manson came out and put a suit on him, and he started telling these Negroes, hey, I'm Charles Manson. Oh, forget I killed about 6 or 7 people. I can get you elected. They'll give Charles Manson a check.
Well, you know, he got arrested at the county commission meeting about 4 or 5 weeks ago. He missed court. Then you're gonna go where all the goddamn deputy sheriffs at? Shit.
Ain't too smart, is it?
No. Yeah, that's his name, Attorney Stuart Breakstone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But I mean, at one time I used to never look over the fence at candidates. I stayed on one side of the fence, and that was the Democratic side of the fence. But there is other parties, and I wish we had a strong third party. And that's something we need. If we ever get 40,000 people to come together and form a independent party or another party. What we need in Shelby County bad is a third party. See, because the Democrats take advantage of your vote, and the Republicans trick you out of your vote. In other words, they trick you by hiring these handkerchief head Negroes to come into your churches, into your community, and do what they do. And you walking up there to the ballot. And when I looked at people with the ballot, I just shook my head. Thought they was all saying the same thing. Is she on this ballot? No, she's not on the ballot. But she has 36 years in that office.
And some of the ballots look like they was printed at the house.
Yeah, yes you did.
Well, in the presidential election, God damn it, I'm gonna probably vote for Trump. Shit.
Well, I tell you what, I'm gonna look over the I'm gonna take a peek over the fence, and I hope I bring a lot of folk with me peeping over the fence. Because if they got sense, if you can't tell me what the Democratic Party or any party have done for you systematically as a black race of people and individuals that representing you in your district, what has he done or she done for you in that district? And it's something else I found out that I don't know if you were aware of it. I was told that every county commissioner and city council are giving a certain budget for them to work in their district.
What's the
In
number?
other words, I was just recently told that $250,000
Yes, that's the number.
go to every representative to do some things in your community, whether it's a donation to the church or whether it's a outreach program. You could do those things. Now, did you know that they could get $250,000? And the question is, do you think it all goes into the community?
No. Or it goes somewhere where it can be siphoned back to them.
I hear you exactly what you're saying.
But they get every commissioner gets.
The fact that when they told me that 250,000, because I remember one time they said it was 150, and then I asked them about that again. They said no, it's 250.
It's 250 now.
Okay.
So, and they spending it too. But they ain't spending it on the people. They give it to organizations.
But I'm just, I've never been suckered as it relates to these individuals that come around. Matter of fact, they know my attitude, they know who I am, and they don't even ask me. They knew not to call my wife, telling her about a ballot to pay some money to get on the ballot. We don't roll that way in the Bernard home. And don't even come to me like that. Hey, I'm not going to pay to put her on the ballot for her to win. If she didn't win because of stupidity, and that's what I call it, ain't nothing but stupidity when you get a person with no experience and be the woman coming in second place with no experience. And the woman had 36 years. And the one that's in there, they don't want to live. But I come to realize, okay, I'm pulling the cover off of this stuff now. It's a lot of things. Are they paying taxes on those ballots? Do they know the IRS know that they've been doing this for years? And do they file that as an income tax? No, I'll tell you right now, they probably don't. But if them folks mysteriously get that information, what could happen to everybody on that ballot that lied to those folks and say, well, I didn't give nothing, he found out you gave something? That's a federal offense to lie to a federal agency.
Well, the judges can't go on those ballots.
No, I ain't talking about judges. I'm talking about these people in these clerk races.
Yeah.
And these county commission seats that paid to be on the ballot. And those guys that been running those ballots for years, my question to you is, do you think they filed that money on their taxes?
Well, time will tell.
Oh,
Jennings,
yeah.
I gotta let you
Yeah,
go.
Definitely. Believe me, we'll hear about that coming up again.
Jennings, it's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Hey, man, as always, I appreciate you again for what you did for my wife, and I appreciate you having me on tonight, and I've enjoyed the conversation. And to your listening audience, I appreciate you all listening as well. Can I say something about what I'm doing, Thaddeus?
Yeah.
All right, I do my Facebook Live every Wednesday and Thursday from 5 to 6. You can go to Sonny Bernard at Facebook.com, and that'll bring you up. And next week, we'll be talking about some more preachers and what they did, and they lying, telling you that they love the black community, and they are saying it, and they know that no one would question them about what they're doing. I appreciate you, Thaddeus.
Thank you, Jennings.
All right, take care.
All right. Yeah, that's Jennings Bernard, longtime friend. We did radio together in white-owned stations where they put us both off. Me first, though. They put me off first because I don't go with the bullshit. I'm sorry. I'm not going to be controlled. And that's the reason I told the persons that was on my Facebook page talking about, you could do the fun morning show. And I could. Ain't no doubts about it. I could do it and keep the ratings where they need to be for that station. I could do that. But I ain't had a boss in 42 years. 42 years. I ain't had nobody tell me how to do radio. I ain't had nobody how to tell me how to do what I do in the evenings here. And I don't think that they will come to me knowing my personality. I don't think that they will come to me. But if DIA wanted to win in the morning times, they'd come to me. Well, he ain't even buried yet, but he dead. He won't be back on the radio no more. And it'd be just like me. If I'm dead, I can't do what I'm doing here. But you best believe that the people at that station are already sitting down and trying to figure out what to do in the morning time with that particular fun morning show. Would I take it? Yes. Under certain conditions. Yeah. Under certain conditions. I ain't gonna have no program director. I ain't gonna have nobody steering me on no conversations. And the money would have to be right. Yeah. Yeah, it would have to be extremely right. I'm not a $40,000 or $50,000 guy. I make more than that doing what I do right here from the confines of my home, and I'm comfortable doing it right here and making the money that I make. You know, this radio game, and I say this about the black person that is on radio and that's on TV. The agenda has to be an agenda of talking about the needs and the concern of black folk. And I won't be in any element where I'm controlled or someone tries to attempt to control me about what I say and what I feel. I won't be in that atmosphere. I ain't for sale. As much as I enjoyed radio, and I'm on the radio 5 days a week. 5 days a week. I wish the Memphis radio station was strong enough to do what I needed to do in Memphis, but it's not. But I am on all down in the Mississippi Delta. I'm all over Mississippi. So we talk about these very same things in Mississippi. And I'm on black-owned radio stations in Mississippi. All right. Let me remind those of you who do not have a job about advanced staffing. They're located at 3564 Kirby Parkway. Are you one of those men who just sit around the house and you just play the video games instead of going to work? Are you that man that you the babysitter? Okay. You babysit the kids while your woman works, and you've got excuse after excuse for not working. You can't find a job, or you don't have transportation, or you're a felon. Well, get up off your ass and put those excuses to rest. Advanced Staffing, located at 3564 Kirby Parkway, is hiring and ready to put you to work today. Even if you are a felon, they have jobs for felons. Plus, they provide transportation. They will pick you up, take you to work, then pick you back up from work and take you home. But not only for men, but they have women jobs as well, whether you're in customer service, the call center, the data entry, receptionist, or secretary. They have warehouse work for you as well. So don't remain unemployed. Call Advanced Staffing in the morning, 901-443-5589. That's 901-443-5589. That number one more time is 901-443-5589. Thanks for the many of you that are calling for the cruise. Linnell Baker out of Chicago, Illinois, got her balcony room on today. I hope that you are trying to go on the cruise as well. We're going to have a good time on the cruise. I mean, I'm talking about a real good time on the cruise. In fact, let the commercial. I need to catch up on some commercials. Ooh, it's 8:46. Let me catch up on some commercials, and we will be right back.
You can be that special queen or king and get on board the Cussing Pastor Blues Cruise. November 10th through November 14th. The cruise will leave sunny Miami and head straight to the Bahamas, stopping first at the beautiful private island of Half Moon Key, where you'll spend a day there on soft white sand beaches while enjoying water sports, boat trips, swimming, a straw market, horseback riding on the beach, a salon, delicious food and drinks, and more. Then it's off to funky Nassau. All you need to take the cruise is a birth certificate, driver's license, or a state ID. A passport is not necessary, but you must be vaccinated. You can enjoy the cruise with a balcony for $982. That's for two persons in a room. If you want an ocean view room, it's $732. Or a room with no view is $661. Hurry and book your cruise today. Here's the booking code: X61MT1. That's X as in X-ray. The number 61MT1. Pick up your phone now and make a $100 deposit. Call 800-819-3902. That's 800-819-3902. Extension 85462. And speak to Natasha Links. Deadline to pay your trip in full is August 27th. Come on and cruise with the Cussing Pastor on Thaddeus Matthews' Cussing Pastor Blues Cruise, November 10th through November 14th.
It contains 92 minerals. It supports a healthy heart, good digestion. It also helps maintain a healthy weight, and there are so many more uses for CMOS. Now, you can order online from Envision CMOS. That's right, Envision CMOS. Or you probably thought that CMOS only comes in that one bland flavor. Well, Envision has it in natural strawberry, mango, pineapple, elderberry, honey cinnamon, and so many more flavors. Go right now to the website envisioncmoss.com. Envision CMOS ships around the world. Have a more healthier you right now. Go to envisioncmoss.com. 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 Farris Media and Marketing, owned by entrepreneurs D. Farris, brings to you the finest in final tribute and obituary programs. Dee is known as the obituary queen, and she brings to you the finest in colored printed celebration of life programs with pictures of your loved one and you in whatever design that you can imagine that you will cherish forever. Dee also owns Alpha Omega Monuments and can provide for your family all types of headstones, flat, stand-up, double headstones, even headstones with your loved one's picture. Whatever your printing need, Farris Media and Marketing can provide it for you. Give her a call at 901-921-0110. Even if you need business cards, logos, or contracts, 901-921-0110.
Here's your invitation to Melanie, Mrs. Cussing Pastor, 47th birthday party and blues show. It's Friday, September 9th, 7 p.m. at the LaPlace Ballroom and Event Center, 5841 Sycamore View in Summer, right behind Church's Chicken. Featuring in concert, L.J. Eccles.
Do you want me to get it from the back?
O.B. Buchanan. Summer Wolf.
If you want me,
Summer Wolf.
leave me.
West Love.
Love the way you put it on me.
Mr. Sam.
She said jump up, roll it, roll it.
Red Velvet.
I wanna love somebody.
And introducing new Southern Soul sensation, West Dawn.
If you don't wanna treat me right, somebody else will.
It's Melanie, Mrs. Cussing Pastor's 47th birthday party and blues show. Friday, September 9th at the LaPlace Ballroom and Event Center. Tickets are $40 in advance, $50 at the door. VIP, $65 per seat at a table of 9 or a whole table for $500. Tickets available only at cussingpastor.com. MC.
All right, as we are winding down this show for tonight, and I'm still working on that men's project. Didn't get a chance to talk about that on tonight, and any of you that want to contribute that didn't contribute on last night or you want to contribute again, is $ Naked Truth Ministries. $ Naked Truth Ministries. I hope that you have enjoyed the conversation that myself and Jennings Bernard had on tonight. I think it was in depth. I think that things were said that probably pissed some of these politicians that were tuned in off. We give zero fucks. It had to be said, and we didn't lie on you. If I lied on you, you're more than welcome to call me in on the show tomorrow or the next time or whenever and discuss how I lied on you. I am tired. I'm going to go out here and eat me a little something and watch me a couple of picture or two and go to bed, get up in the morning about 5:30 and catch me on the radio. Those of you who are going on the cruise, please go ahead on and make yourself ready. Go and pay your $100 on tomorrow deposit to hold your particular cabin in place. All right, I'm tired for the night, y'all. We'll do it again tomorrow evening. Until then,